everyone! In our last two videos, we learned about relational and logical operators, how to compare values and combine multiple conditions together. Today we are finally going to put all of that knowledge to work because we are learning about conditional statements in Java. Specifically, the if and if else statements. Conditional statements are what give your programs the ability to make decisions. So, conditional statements are what gives your program the ability to make decisions. And instead of just executing code line by line from top to bottom, your program can now choose different paths based on whether a condition is true or false. This is one of the most important concepts in all of programming, and by the end of this video, you will know exactly how to use it. Before we look at any code, let's understand what a conditional statement actually is. Conditional statement is simply a statement that can be either true or false. And based on that result, the program takes a different action. Think about everyday decisions you make. If it is raining, take an umbrella. Otherwise, leave it at home. If the traffic light is green, go. Otherwise, stop. Let's start with the if statement. The if statement executes a block of code only if the condition is true. If the condition is false, the block is completely skipped. Let's try the syntax. If inside the parentheses we write the condition and close the parentheses, open curly brace, and here we write the code to execute if condition is true. And then we close the curly brace. The condition inside the parentheses must always evaluate a boolean, true or false here. In Java, the condition must always be a proper boolean expression, something that evaluates to true or false. A number on its own does not qualify. This is Java being straight and safe, making sure your conditions are always meaningful and unambiguous. Now let's add the else part. The if-else statement adds an alternative block of code that executes when the condition is false. Think of it like a road with two paths. You can only take one, either the if path when the condition is true or the else path when the condition is false. Never both. Let's try the syntax. If condition, we write the condition inside the parentheses, curly brace, here execute if condition is false, and close the curly brace. And then, okay, let me write it this way, and this way. So the next line is else, open curly brace, executes if condition is false. Executes if the condition is false. Let's look at a real example checking if a number is even or odd. So, I declare a variable with a data type of int. The name of the variable is num, or assignment operator is equal to assign the value, and then the value is 13 and semicolon. So according to our syntax, first I write if, then I open the parentheses, write the condition. My condition is, I say num module 2 equal to 0. I say if the remainder of the number is equal to 0, I open the curly brace, then I write executes if the condition is true. So if the remainder is equal to 0, I say please print the number is even. So now we write the second part of our statement. I write else. I say if this condition is not true, it's false. Then I open a curly brace. I write what if the condition is false? Then please print the number is odd. Let's run the program. Okay, we see that the number is odd. It's not even because the number is 13 and 13 divided by 2. The remainder is 1. The remainder is not 0. Let's change the number to 12 and run the program again. We see this time the output is even because 12 module 2 or divided by 2, the remainder is 0. The condition is true and if blocks executes. This block executes, but if the condition is false, this block executes. Now let's talk about something really useful. When do you need curly braces and when can you skip them? In Java, if your if or else block contains only a single statement, the curly braces are optional. You can write it on one line. Like you can just remove the curly braces and run the program. Still we receive the output without any errors. So this is perfectly valid and it is exactly how the even odd example would look with braces. However, if your block contains multiple statements, curly braces are required. For example, I write if num module 2 equals 0 and then I open curly braces and I say please print the number is even and then also write or print that even number or numbers are divisible by 2 and else I close this curly braces, open a new one and here again I want to print two line and here I say odd numbers are not divisible by 2. And then for sure I have to close the curly brace and run the program. Look, we have two sentences here. The number is even numbers are divisible by 2. My personal recommendation, always use curly braces even for single statements. It makes your code cleaner, easier to read and prevents bugs when you later add more lines to a block and forget to add the braces. I myself usually use curly braces even for single statement. Now here is where everything we learned in our previous videos comes together. So you can use relational and logical operators together inside your if condition to create more powerful and complex decisions. Let's use them one by one. Let's use AND operator. I declare a variable named age with the value of 20 and semicolon. And another variable named has ID equal to true and semicolon. Now I write my statement. I say if, after if we open the parentheses, if age is greater or equal to 18 and has ID, I open the curly brace, then I write the code that wants to execute, access granted. And then else, I open another curly brace. If that condition is false, please print access denied. I think I have made a condition. Okay, now let's run the program. Okay, access granted because both conditions are true. The person is greater than 18 and has an ID. Now let's change the has ID to false. Imagine the person does not have the ID and run the program. This time, because the condition is false, this one executes. Access denied. So now let's use OR operator. Using OR, two vertical bars, boolean has cache equals to false, and boolean has card equal to true, and semicolon. Now let's write our statement. If the parentheses, inside the parentheses we write our condition. I say has cache or has card. If the person has either cash or card, please print payment accepted. Otherwise, if the condition is false, the person neither has a cash nor card, then please else print cannot pay. Let's run the program. The output is payment accepted because at least one of the conditions is true. So now let's go for the next operator using not. Another variable is raining equals to false and semicolon. I write the condition. I say if this variable is not true, is the opposite of this variable. If it is the opposite of this variable, please print the outside. Otherwise, if the condition is not true, write or print stay inside. Let's run the program. Okay, I think I made a mistake in writing the name of the variable. Okay, let's run again. And the output is go outside because is raining is false and not false is true. See how naturally relational operators, logical operators, and conditional statements all work together? This is the foundation of how real Java programs make decisions. And that is if else in Java. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss a lesson. See you in the next one.